except for Paul. And we're up. Welcome to CWRAP for Monday, July the 26th. Donald Hovis is usually our host, and he can't be here today because he is playing golf and hopefully getting steps in for the polio challenge, we hope. Anyway, today we have with us a very distinguished speaker. He is our new district governor. I'm not going to give you a lot of information about Paul because you probably already know it. And if you don't, you're going to hear it when he visits your club. But he's going to share with us today his top 10 for the district for his Rotary year. So Paul, I'm going to turn it over to you and have at it.
Thank you, Mary. I'm happy to be here on CWRAP today. I'm usually a watcher of CWRAP, and so now it's fun to get an opportunity to speak to y'all today. I wanted to provide you in a nod to David Letterman. If y'all remember David Letterman, my top 10 things that I would like to see us do in our district. And so I will go through this list, and some of them are in maybe an order, and others are not in any particular order. But just wanted to give you all a flavor for what hopefully we're wanting to accomplish this year. President-elect Shaker had asked us as district governors to put a list of things that we wanted to accomplish, and he said, hopefully if you accomplish 2 of those 10 or 2 of those, how many ever on the list, you've done good. So I'm hoping to accomplish all 10. Some of them are easy, at least I hope they're easy, and others may be more difficult and a challenge to get done. But let's start with number 10. Number 10 that I would like to see us participate in a project involving the 7th area of focus, protecting the environment. So this is the newest area of focus as of last year. And it joins the other areas of focus: peace and conflict prevention, resolution, disease prevention and treatment, water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, and economic and community development. I do want to note that 18.4 million has been extended by the foundation in global grants in the last 5 years based on environment related causes. So even though we've not had this as an area of focus, and it's now our 7th, we have supported this area in economic and community development and water and sanitation projects. As of July 1st, however, you can apply for grants with this area of focus. So that's new, and happy to see that happen. And then adding this 7th area, it gives more of attention to it, and Rotarians can take part if they already have not done so in other projects. And I see this as something that younger Rotarians may get involved in as a positive change, one that our Rotarians are currently have a passion for, and then those younger Rotarians. Number 9 is participate in a district global grant focusing on empowering girls. I've been working with Rotarians in the district and some outside of the district to write a grant that would focus on empowering girls. Being a father of 2 girls myself certainly hits home, and it's one that's near and dear to my heart. The plan would be to work with empowering girls in India. India happens to be the home country of our international president, Shekhar Mehta. And President Shaker goes on to say that too many girls face discrimination and disadvantage and lack of opportunities. Empowering girls will mean securing their education, securing their health, their economic development, and equipping them with skills for greater opportunities. It would mean curbing child marriage and teen pregnancies. It may mean preventing trafficking and abuse and gender-based violence against women. Adolescent girls have the right to a safe, educated, and healthy life. So the grant that I'd like to see would be one that, again, would focus on empowering girls. And what I would want to have as a focus too is to reduce the impediments on their attending school. President Shaker has said that something simple, and it's a simple thing, as a sustainable method for providing sanitary napkins could help in this effort. This seems like something that we may take for granted, but it would have a huge impact on the girls and their ability to attend school or not. Additional components of this could be clean water and sanitation as a part of this grant as well. Number 8, apply for a district grant. The clubs in our district done a great job. I've just seen last week the grant applications. The maximum district grant is $2,500. And I'm happy to tell you that 61 of our clubs in the district have applied for the grant. These funds will be matched by the club, and then the grant and those funds matched by the club will allow them to do good in the world. The funds from the district grant, if you don't know, they come from DDF, or district designated funds. These are funds that we raised as a district 3 years ago and are now coming back into the district for us to use by the clubs and other areas that I'll get into in a moment. So number 7, I know one person on this call will like this, is Run with Bernie Polio Challenge. Number 7. Many of our Rotarians have already joined in the fight to eradicate polio, and they're participating in this challenge. In fact, I just got updated figures. 131 Rotarians from 32 clubs are joining in, and I bet there are more. I think Mary said that there were a few more, and maybe there'll be more after this call. Individuals and teams are taking on the challenge. It's a run, walk, ride, swim. We don't care, just move. And something that you can equate into a mile. It could be an individual goal to do 1,000 like Bernie's doing, and I'm certainly going to try to do, or it could be your team goal that comes up and with the 1,000 miles. It's not so much about the miles, to be honest with you. The goal is that we would do this between July 1st and October 21st. Why October 21st? Well, it's World Polio Day. It's a great day for us to end, celebrate, and October 24th. Sorry, Bernie, I caught myself. October 24th is World Polio Day. But again, the overall goal in this is to raise awareness for the eradication and or ending polio now. Raise for Rotary by collecting the funds for the Rotary Foundation, and by the way, get a little healthier at the same time. This challenge is a great tool for the clubs to reach their polio goal. Polio goals are $35 per member in the district, or an average of $1,500 for the clubs in the district. So I think we are well on our way to doing a lot of the goals that we've set out, which is awareness, raise some funds, and get a little healthier. And I thought too, with all the club visits that I'm having to do, it may help me stay in this nice Rotary suit that I have had custom made. Number six is meet the club's foundation goals. So I'd like to challenge you to meet the club's foundation goals. Meeting those goals are important, as I mentioned earlier, for DDF, but it's how we do good in the world and how we do good in the communities that we serve in. The DDF, or district designated funds, are raised 3 years prior that'll come back in the district. And so this is how these funds are generated. So it's important that we meet these goals. You should be proud to know that Charity Navigator rates us with 4 stars. This is something, this is the highest rating that you can get. So we are rated as an excellent charity or charitable organization. 92% of the funds that are received go out and are used to do good in the world. 8% are used on administration. Again, our number one priority in Rotary is what? To end polio now, number one priority. I just want to go through the amounts that we received in DDF, or district designated funds, this year So we received $376,000, which was half of what was raised 3 years ago. And we're allocating those in traditional ways that we have as a district. 20% of those funds go to polio and eradication of polio. So that's $75,000 that'll go there. We've allocated $25,000 for a peace center. And again, we have done that historically and are happy to support the peace centers. Global scholars, we have 2 global scholars this year, allocating from the DDF $25,000 each, matched by the Rotary Foundation. So that total amount that goes to that scholar, if they applied last year, it's actually $50,000. This year, it's $45,000. So a little bit of a change. And then the district grants that I mentioned earlier, $160,000 that we're allocating for the clubs to use in their areas to do good in the communities that they serve. So let's go on to number 5. Number 5 is participate in a Rotary Day of Service. President Shaker has asked, and that we challenge every club in the district to plan, host at least one action-oriented Rotary Day of Service during the coming year. The event should address a challenge facing your community that fits in one of the areas of focus that I mentioned before, and brings together volunteers from within and outside of Rotary. The challenge is to create meaningful and volunteer opportunities for families and partners in your area, regardless of their profession or affiliation with Rotary. The day is to be broadly promoted, promoting your good work that you do in the communities that you serve, motivate Rotary, Rotaract, Interact clubs that can join in this innovative and practical service project. Introduce prospective members to your club through the Rotary Days of Service. And I thought this was an interesting aspect of it, was attract a group of participants in which 25% of them are not currently Rotary members. So we're asking you to get non-Rotarians involved, show them what we do. Maybe at the end of the day and end of the time that they've served, they'll see what good work we're doing and like to join in the fun. Number 4, complete a community assessment. Assessing your community's strengths and weaknesses, needs and assets are essential. In the post-pandemic world, the needs that we may have dealt with before may not be the same one that we're dealing with today. And I think we need more than ever to learn what those needs are of today and address them. By taking the time to learn about your community, you may discover the best opportunities for service and maximize your club's ability to make an impact. It can help build valuable relationships and encourage residents in your communities to help make lasting local improvements. Conducting an assessment is critical to creating trust and fostering community ownership and sustainability. In the assessments, there is a format out there that we can provide you. Use it as a guide, use it as something that you can go by. You don't have to go and complete line by line, but it's more something that I would challenge you to do to assess where you are in meeting the needs of the community. Are you doing what you need to do based on what the community is saying, or are you doing what you've always done because it's something you've always done? So I challenge you during this time to look and see what the community is in need of. Now, Shaker Mehta, our president-elect, has asked us to each one bring one. So this is number 3. And a side note of that is use an entrance interview. I'll get into that in a minute. So we would like to grow from 1.2 million Rotarians to 1.3 million Rotarians during the coming year. This can be accomplished by each of us bringing in one member. Is that easy enough? Do you think that we can bring in one member each? So if we're asked to do this, the goal is to do it by June 30th. So if you can do it, then we can grow more and do more. It's not necessarily about the numbers that we want to see us grow to a certain number of 1.3 or whatever it ends up being. It's more about the impact that we have on our community. If we can grow more and introduce more individuals to Rotary, then we as a collective group can do more good in our communities in the world. All right, I've asked this of other groups, and I'll ask y'all too. So if you're on, turn your cameras on so that I can see your face. And if y'all would, I'll ask you the question I've asked others. All right, who thinks by show of hand that you can bring in one member this year? So if you think, raise your hand. All right, I think I see most of you. Let's see, keep your hands raised, keep your hands raised. All right, I'm going to snap a photo of y'all so that I have visual evidence. You can put your hands down. I have visual evidence now that y'all said it was such an easy goal that you raised your hand and said that you could bring in one member. So now, maybe on June 15th, I'm going to come back and look at all these photos and see, did you do what you said you were going to do, which is bring in one new member. That's all we ask. But again, all joking aside, it's really more about the impact that we'll have, and that what we'll do is doing good in the world. If we bring in one more member, then that means that's just that much more good that we can do in the world. All right, number 2. I said there was an easy one. This is an easy one. It's so easy, but so important. Sign into my Rotary, successfully sign into my Rotary and DAC-DB. DAC-DB, if you didn't know, district and club database, and my Rotary. If you can do that, there's a wealth of knowledge. This seems so simple, but there's a wealth of knowledge that is out there at your fingertips. I'm happy to answer questions. The AGs are happy to answer questions. The presidents of clubs are happy to answer questions. But if you're sitting around at 2 o'clock in the morning and you can't do anything and you're so excited about finding out about Rotary, you can go to these resources, find most anything that you'll need. If you can't find it there, then look outside. But in DAC-DB, you might find club members, their contact information. You might find dates of when we have meetings, like the All Club Conference in March of 2020. You may find information about membership summits like this Friday and next Friday, or dates like the foundation seminar that will be on September 13th or 17th, excuse me, just as soon as it's up on the calendar too, but you'll see it there. P-mail, you might want to contact other members within the district via P-mail. You could do Rotary Compare. Rotary Compare looks at data that DAC-DB has and Rotary has and make sure that that data is similar or the same. CRM is there, which is a prospecting management tool for you to put in potential new members and keep track of them, and that they have our information from the standpoint of knowing what's going on with our clubs. And then just tools and resources that I have put under a file that I have. So club presidents who attended PETS, there's all kinds of files that are in there for them to use as well. So use that as a resource. In my Rotary, you can learn about Rotary, you can learn how to get involved, you can discover our causes and programs, take courses on the Learning Center, and you can get help for public image in the Brand Center. So Mary loves that one, and making sure that you use our mark of excellence, and anything that is Rotary branding, you use it properly. It can be found on the Brand Center. All right, number 1, the number 1 thing that I'd like you to focus on this year is finding your why. You may have heard me talk about it before. I'm asking you to find your why for being in Rotary. Why do you give your time, your talents, and your treasures? Is this why that keeps you involved in the activities and that Rotary becomes a part of your life? Why do you do this? Some of you may know your why. If you know your why, you're ahead of the game. That's wonderful. If you don't know your Rotary why, I challenge you to figure out what it is. It'll help you to stay engaged in Rotary. And you may even tell your story to others so that they would join in the fun that we're all involved in the family of Rotary. I was going to talk about my why, but I'm going to leave that out. You'll hear it on my visits. So I'm going to leave a little teaser in there to find out what my why is. And something that you'll hear on my speech on the visit as well is that your why could change. Your why may change from time to time. But it all comes back, in my opinion, to service above self, and as our guiding principle. So this why could become something that's very personal. It could be your guiding light for you and others to follow. So I'll end with the question of asking you, what's your why for being in Rotary? And that is my top 10 things that I would like to see y'all participate in, get engaged in. There'll be more to come at the meetings that I'll have, the official club visits. I'm starting those. I actually have one today in Kingstree, South Carolina, as I'm calling in from what Jennifer calls God's country, Williamsburg County. So I'll take any questions that y'all may have. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer it. If I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer.
Paul, I do have a question. Can you hit a little bit on your conference for next year? I know you've started the planning. Is there anything you can tell
Sure.
us about that?
Yes, sure. The conference will be held in March 11th through the 13th in sunny Hilton Head at the Sonesta Resort. We are, as Mary says, in the planning stages. We're meeting weekly to see how we are coming along or not coming along. We have a good number of speakers that are already engaged and committed to being here. But I'd like to also focus on the fun aspect of coming to the conference. There's too many times that we go to the conference and we get there on Friday and we leave on Sunday, and you could have been anywhere in the world. It didn't matter. The conference could have taken place in anywhere. I would like you to be able to have a little free time midday Saturday, go visit, do something in Hilton Head, and we'll give you some ideas and options. We'll do the traditional, meetings that we need to do, certainly, and speakers. And Friday night we'll have a theme of the conference is a Rotary Family Reunion. And this will be the opportunity for us to get back together, as we have unfortunately not been able to do for the past 2 years. So it will be our first conference, I guess, in 3 years. And I'm happy to say that we're getting the family of Rotary together and creating this family reunion. Friday night we'll be at a pavilion by the beach, or right on the beach, and you'll have to come and see what kind of wonderful food that we'll have, entertainment. We may on Saturday get involved in a service project. Might even have an opportunity for you to run with Bernie on Saturday morning, as it happens to be St. Patrick's Day. So we're encouraging all of the attendees who are St. Patrick's Day weekend. We're encouraging a lot of the attendees to go ahead and register now. If you try to get a hotel room in Hilton Head today, good luck. I don't know if that same occupancy level will keep up until March, but you may want to go ahead and reserve your room so that we have the space there in the hotel. And Saturday night we'll have a traditional banquet, black tie, and then Sunday with a brunch and a necrology and service that we'll have. And we're talking about some other fun events that are planned. We may, if you wanted to stay longer and extend your stay on Hilton Head, there happens to be the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which goes up and down Pope Avenue on Hilton Head, and is not too far from where the hotel is, the Sonesta Resort. So lots of stuff going on. Excited to have all of you attend, and look forward to welcoming y'all there on that day for the weekend.
Very good. Are there any other questions? I don't see anything in the chat box or anything you want to say to Paul. Now's your chance, one-on-one. Put him on the spot. Okay, Paul, I don't see anything, so I guess you've done a good job explaining what you're looking for this year. We look forward to serving with you and having you lead us into all those lofty goals you have. I think we'll do good with them.
Mhm.
If
Well, and
there-
I will be presenting each one of the presidents. You can't see it on the screen, but I have a top 10 that I'll be delivering to each one of the presidents as I come. So they will have those in writing to know and they've already been given them as well.
Fabulous. Okay. And the AGs are going to be working real close with you this year to help the president stay on track, right?
That is the plan,
Okay.
yes.
That is the plan. Okay, very good. Well, Bernie has a question.
Yes, for our governor. Have you given out all the T-shirts that you had, Paul?
Yes, all of the T-shirts that I received went into the presidential bag, and those presidential bags would have been delivered to each one by the AGs.
Okay.
If
Okay.
I need to deliver more, I can.
Okay, but the first batch have already gone, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I got mine last Friday. So yeah, very good. And on Bernie's behalf, I'm going to say this, go ahead and keep signing people up to run with Bernie because that's on your top 10 list and you don't want to let the governor down. So keep moving.
Or Bernie.
Or Bernie. Nobody wants to let Bernie down. Mr. Polio himself. I don't know what's going to happen when we finally get rid of polio. We're going to have to get rid of Bernie. No.
Oh, I look forward to it.
No, we would never do that. Okay, well, if there's no further business, I did forget because I'm not Donald and I don't do this on a regular basis to introduce myself. I'm Mary Gask with 5 Points Rotary. And I appreciate you calling in today and joining us as we welcome Paul as a speaker on our CWRAP program. And Paul, if you want to end the meeting with the 4-way test, we'd love it.
All right. You'll join me of the things that we think, say, and do. Is it the truth?
Is it
Is
fair
it
Is
to
it
all?
fair to all
concerned?
concerned?
Will
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Friendships?
Will it be beneficial?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Ring the bell.
That's it. And
I've heard other clubs say, is it fun?
and thank you, Paul. And that's a wrap. Thanks.
All right.